Yes, guys, welcome back to another video on TheBridgeSide with me, David, your host. I hope you're having a great day. I am, apart from the weather. The weather is actually grim, so, that's always a terrible start to the day. But in today's episode, we're just going to go through everything that's happened in the last 10 days. This small transfer window that was given to us for the Club World Cup, and we basically did nothing with it. A lot of these signings that we have signed were pre-agreed, but we'll get into that. We'll get into everything else, from the keepers to all the guys that aren't being taken to the Club World Cup, and we're just going to have a little conversation, little rant, bit of an emotional one, because obviously being a Chelsea fan, this has got to be one of the most frustrating things I think we've seen, and it's starting to show the true colours of the club. But yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so I think it's best start that we deal with the main one in there, the Maignan deal. It's ridiculous, actually ridiculous. For a keeper of that stature to be worth 25 million euros, and Chelsea just go ahead and go, do you know what? Well, we think he's 10 million. Like, come on, Chelsea. He's France's number one keeper. He's only 29. It's not like he's 40. He's not trying to be a third choice goalkeeper. This man has charisma. This man is a very good goalkeeper. And Chelsea just don't want to do it. Now, don't get me wrong, that, could set a precedent for the future of, just because you want this price doesn't mean we're going to have to pay it. But I think there comes a point where, all right, maybe, you could just splash some cash. We're all sat with our heads in our hands going, what are you doing? Why are you putting us through this? You offered, I think it was between 15 and 18 million euros, which, let's be honest, is a sufficient amount if they want 20 to 25 million euros. Because apparently it's this Club World Cup tax that apparently is now a thing, that apparently puts the price of a player up. What a load of... Yeah, you're with me on that one. It's ridiculous. Obviously, I know Fabrizio Romano came up with that little phrase of the Club World Cup tax, but I think clubs are in their right to use it. But he wants the move. He's really pushing for it, and he's already told them he's going to run his contract out if that's the case. I'm all for that. We can just wait till January and get a little pre-agreement in place, and we're all good to go. But we need a keeper for the new season, and I don't think we're done with Maignan. I think on the 16th, when the transfer window is back open, I see us going for him again, because I think AC Milan will drop their price, because they've tried to battle with us. They didn't win. So I think that's going to be an interesting one to find out in a few days, but it will be very interesting to see what happens. And I am looking forward to it, because, again, whilst we're on the topic of keepers, Petrovic, what is going on there? I've seen so many different things from different accounts, different journalists, all having a very different outlook on what's happened. I'm seeing that, he's chosen not to go. He doesn't want to go because he wants to be a first choice keeper, and Chelsea don't see that being a thing, right? They've got enough trust in Sanchez and Jorgensen and Penders, and obviously, we hope we see Penders in the Club World Cup, and I really hope this man, has a good run. That'd be brilliant if suddenly we've just got an absolute gem and a 19-year-old keeper. But let's be honest, you're really cutting it close on that one. I just think with Petrovic, it's a sad one. He was sent away to Strasbourg to have a great season, to hopefully fight for a position, and now he's not been given a chance. But again, the news outlets I've seen, that there was something in his contract that means he's still tied to his loan club till the 30th of June, which means he can't go. But I'm now hearing that he doesn't want to go. But then all of us fans are getting annoyed because we're seeing it as why is he not going? This is a perfect time to give him a shot to really see if he can do it. And nothing. Nothing. Brilliant. Thanks, Chelsea. And I'm starting to think this isn't Maresca. I'm starting to think this is the higher ups making these decisions, because it's clearly very obvious that Maresca wants a new keeper. I don't think he's confident in the likes of Sanchez, Jorgensen. I think he hasn't obviously got to work with Penders yet, so that will be interesting. But yeah, this is just... I don't know what to make of our hierarchy are we just getting so sold on everything that we're reading that actually that it's not the outcome of everything? You know, remember when there was an outlook that Sky Sports said Chelsea never even put in an offer for Maignan. Milan offered them and said, look, this is the price we want to pay, and Chelsea just never really did anything about it. So which one is it? Which one are we supposed to believe? So obviously, whatever you hear from me, don't take it for solid truth. Just know that this is my opinion and this is my take on it. But obviously, I've got 3-4 different outlets on the same scenarios that I don't know which one to go for, but I'm trying to be as realistic as possible and use my brain and go, okay, well, this one makes sense the most. This is what I want to believe, even if it doesn't fit the Chelsea agenda. But it's like, if that makes sense and it kind of backs the club at the same time, then that's what I'm going to do. Because you've got, who else? So obviously the Maignan one failed. The Maignan-Gittens one, who we all seen, I don't know if you guys have seen it, go have a look on, on X or anything like that. He storms away from training in his car. Whether that's just because that's how he drives, or is that because he was annoyed because Dortmund just keep throwing his price up through the roof. And I've seen a lot of people discuss that, well, this man's being dropped by Dortmund anyway. He's on the bench now. Clearly, he's not good enough. Or the new manager's tactics just don't suit him, or he's just not in favour of this new manager. Doesn't mean he's a bad player. Just managers have a very different way of how their tactics are used, and maybe Gittens is so much more of a progressive and an attacking style footballer. That's not what this manager wants. He wants a more preserved, more defensive mindset, more possession holding, which again is very Maresca. But Maresca also wants some very attacking wingers that can cut in and shoot, and Gittens is that guy. So I say don't lose faith in the player's abilities just because he's not necessarily being used. But he will be. I think he's going to play very well in the Club World Cup, and I think he's going to do his best to be like, okay, well, if Dortmund want to put that price on my head, and I best show them why. I mean, we could just turn around and be like, yo, mate, just play shit. Just don't try. Bring that price down. Don't make anyone else want to buy you. But then, obviously, all of us fans will be like, wow, this guy sucks. Why do we even want him in the first place? So, yeah. Moving on to the next one, we've got, obviously, we signed Liam Delap, which is great. I think that's the one signing that we were all very happy with that we all thought was a bargain. I think that Delap being bought for 30 million isn't honestly a steal. If you've not watched this guy, he put Chalobah on his ass. This guy isn't afraid to go at defenders and be aggressive. He will do it. And I think he loves to just score goals. And I'm so looking forward to the 16th when we get to see these guys play. And it's going to be interesting to see the battle between Nicholas Jackson and Delap on who gets these positions. Who gets to be the guy? Does Jackson get thrown out on the left wing? Does Palmer get put out on the right wing? Do we see Enzo getting pushed up into the 10 and Santos and Caicedo, or Lavia and Caicedo? Will Reece James be on the bench and have Caicedo, Lavia, Santos and Fernandes all in one lineup? These are all things that we've got to take into consideration, that's a possibility. So, again, very excited for Delap. And on, obviously, Mamadou Sarr and Asugu, I think watching Asugu and Sarr's highlights, do you know what? I'm looking forward to it. But again, I don't want to get my hopes up too much. These guys could well just be a couple young players that get just sent out on loan again before the season starts. But they have been given shirt numbers that I would say strike me as, that's a starting squad kind of, not starting in the lot, but I mean, squad day players. Taking Felix's number 14. I think, is it Sarr's? I think one of them, yeah. Is it Isugu or Sarr? But Sarr's got number 19, Isugu's got number 14. Now, I know that obviously the numbers don't necessarily mean what they mean nowadays in football, but to me that does kind of give you that idea that they are, being looked at to be in the future. But then my brain goes, okay, well, I'm the loanees that made their debuts for Chelsea this season. You had that young 15-year-old. I can't remember what his name is, but you know who I'm on about. And he was brilliant. I really liked him. Will he just go out on loan now? Will all those guys go out on loan? Everyone keeps raving and ranting about Tyreek George. Now, I do like Tyreek George, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, this guy's the best. We need to be giving him everything we've got. Ease up. I think he's all right. I think he's still very, very young, and I think he still has a lot of improving to do. He doesn't quite yet strike me as that player. I don't get particularly excited when he comes on. Yes, he has scored a goal and maybe got an assist, but it's like, does he really make the difference? Is he really that much of an impact player? Because I don't see that yet. Now, that could be the players around him aren't just giving him that support that he needs, but I don't see it. And I don't know about you, but I like it when I see the likes of Neto or Madueke coming off the bench, or people that can generally change a game. I can't wait to see Mark Gu back in it. I can't wait to see that guy. That guy just runs around like crazy. I can't wait for it. I was so sad to see him get injured I think it was in the conference, or if it was in the Prem. He got injured, didn't he? And I thought he was going to be top goal scorer of the league in the Conference League. And it sucks that I didn't get to see that happen because he got injured. But it'll be interesting to see if they keep him for next season, whether or not he goes out on loan. I think that massively depends on who we sign, if we sign another striker, because I think if we sign another striker, Jackson's going to want to leave. And I don't know if you watched him against England, but I would say he was very good, but he put a shift in. And I don't see Jackson wanting to be the kind of player that just settles for being the second choice or third choice. But then Delap being given the number 9 suggests to me that they don't see themselves getting a number 9 striker. But then obviously got the talks of Ekitike, who apparently Chelsea never even put a bid in for, by the way. They literally just messaged him, was like 2 weeks ago, like, look, what do you want for this player? And they've said around 100 million euros. Which I don't see Chelsea doing. I think that is ridiculous. For Christ's sake, Liverpool have just paid 150 million for Wirtz, who got turned apart the other day. I don't know if you've seen that. Is he worth 150 million? No. And I think how many players have come from Germany and really torn up the Premier League? Look at Timo Werner. Look at Havertz. I think the likelihood is he will luckily have a very good Liverpool squad around him. But who gets dropped for that, and all that. But obviously we don't care about Liverpool. But now that everyone can leave Caicedo and, Enzo Fernandez alone, that's all I care about. Stop with this whole, look how much Caicedo is worth every penny. Enzo, okay, he's improving and he's getting there. But, Caicedo, what a legend. What a beautiful man. Absolute legend. Right. I want to go through the Club World Cup squad with you guys. Let me just find it. I do have it up here. I've been going through so much stuff on X. It's unbelievable. Right, here we go. Okay. So you've got the whole Club World Cup squad. You've got the goalkeepers, Sanchez, Jorgensen, Penders, Slanina. Stacked. I don't even think you need 4 goalkeepers. Just take the 3 and give each one a couple good games. Winning. Especially Penders. I want to see Penders getting used. I don't want to see Jorgensen or Sanchez. Just shove Penders against, one of the American teams that maybe not be very good, or you know what I mean. Just give him a go. Even at half time, bring him on. But obviously, I know that Chelsea's taking this very seriously. Right, defenders: Cucurella, Adebayo, Badiashile, Colwill, Sarr, Chalobah, James, Gusto, Anselmino, and Achimpong. Anselmino's been injured for a long time. I know that one, but again, that's a pretty stacked defence. I don't know why Badiashile's going. Again, hot and cold. He isn't a player that I look at and go, right, we're going to get the best out of him in this game. It's very much like, right, which Bynoe-Gittens are we getting? Are we getting a hop, can do great passing, can be very physical, or are we getting the suddenly can't pass, doesn't have the ability, doesn't have the brain power, switches off and just gives the ball away? So, rest of them, Achimpong, I'm really glad that he's going. I think he is a player we need to keep an eye on. Will he go out on loan? I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. But you know what? Before we go through to the midfielders, if you've gotten this far, I really appreciate it. Drop a like, subscribe, and now we're getting to the midfielders. Right, in the midfielders, you got Fernandez, Caicedo, Asugu, Santos, Drewsbury Hall, and Lavia. Now, everyone's going off about, all right, Paez was left out. Why was Paez left out? The guy's going on loan to Strasbourg, you have to remember. This isn't a player that we can just take with us. I think it'll be good for him to go to Strasbourg, go on loan. Look what happened to Santos. It's worked. It will continue to work. This guy will just be a second to Cole Palmer, and let's be honest, Cole Palmer doesn't come off, so unless he gets injured, it's not going to happen. to see a Sugu and Santos maybe playing, and the fact that Drewsbury Hall's going, by the way, is, I think, brilliant. I like Drewsbury Hall. I think he really come a long way throughout that Conference League the rest of the season. So I think it'd be very interesting to see where he comes along and where or not he goes, or if he's happy to stay at Chelsea and just be an off-the-bench player. But I think when you've got a Sugu, Santos, Fernandes, Caicedo, Lavia being injury-prone, and I think maybe he'll get some game time, but I think you're talking the cup games. I'm talking the English Cup games. I'm talking the low Premier League games where he'll come off in he'll come on in the 70th minute just to run a game out, and that's fine. If he's happy to do that, that's fine. But I like Kieran Drewsbury Hall, and I think he deserves to be that guy for a team that plays constantly. So, you know what? For me, I'd love to see him, and I would support. I'd wish him all the best. I really would. I think he's a top player. Right, forwards. Oh, excuse me, dirty dog. Delap, Neto, Palmer, Madueke, Jackson, Nkunku, George, and Mark Gue. Why is Nkunku going? Now, that's going to throw so much speculation out there on, right, why are we taking him? Is he staying? Is that the thing? Are they trying to run his price up? The guy does not seem interested. The guy's got no oomph in him to want to succeed at Chelsea. So why the hell are you taking him? That position could have been given to a Petrovic, to a Paez, if that was the case. Leave him at home. Leave him at home with Felix, Disasi, Chilwell, Sterling. He's got, unless at Chelsea he actually does work hard and he is really trying to prove himself. But mate, what are you doing? Especially the higher ups. Why are you letting him go? It is mental. But yeah, Delap, really excited for that one, especially with Neto. Neto being such a good force going forward when it comes into crossing balls in. Hopefully there'll actually be someone there who's a presence who can score those goals. The tap-ins, the headers. Palmer and Delap linking up again. Can't wait to see that one. I don't need to talk about that one. We're all excited, let's be honest. But Jackson, again, hot and cold, but we all love Nicholas Jackson. We love... You see it when he scores or gets an assist. The guy loves it. He loves Chelsea. He loves the club. And that's what we like. So, yeah. And obviously, I forgot the likes of Fofana being left out because obviously he's still injured. Even though we had that argument with, no, I'll be ready. No, mate. You take your time because you had quite a serious injury, mate. Take your time and come back in the new season. But this is where my brain goes, oh, but then there's all these talks of Hato and defenders and we need to sign a new defender. And I'm like, but if everyone was fit, aren't we fully stacked with some real quality defenders? Would a what's his name? Oh my God, I'm going to have to look this up. Oh my God. Mark Gahey. That is embarrassing. I just, it just loses you and your brain goes frazzled, mate. Know what team he played for? Know what position? Just couldn't remember his name. And I think Mark Gue, that just dumbed me head in because it's Mark Gahey in there. Will a Mark Gahey make the difference? Will a Branthwaite make the difference? And I know obviously the talks of Branthwaite, it doesn't look like it's going to happen. There's all these different scenarios. The Hato for the left centre-back and left-back role. What about Renato Vega? I think this guy's got a very big ego and I think he wants to be the big deal all the time wherever he goes. But he needs to humble himself and realise, mate, more than likely you're going to get sold. Okay? And I'm not going to lie, I don't think a lot of us really missed him because we didn't see enough of him. And this is what I mean by the ego. He come in for a few months and was straight away out on loan because he wanted to be a centre-back. He wanted to be starting. He thought he deserved. No, mate, work hard and you will be rewarded. That's how this all works. That felt like quite a nice rant. I enjoyed that rant today. That was a good rant. Every time I'm so new to this that I'm watching the videos back and I'm editing and I'm like, oh my God, you're so monotone. Like, put some personality into it. But for people at home, you need to understand that I'm looking at a camera right now. This camera's not talking bad to me. This is not a two-way conversation. I'm talking to myself. I am theoretically psychotic. that is how I see this, right? But I'm obsessed with Chelsea, and I'm obsessed with the content that you can do around Chelsea. And I love all of it, and I watch all of it as well. I'm a big fan of watching everyone else. Not to take ideas or situations, but you know what I mean? I just love watching other people be just as invested, and I'm so looking forward to the future. Even if nothing comes from this from me, I just enjoy doing this, and I hope that one day you guys enjoy the benefit from it. And maybe one day, I'll be able to bump into someone at Stamford Bridge, and we can have a laugh and discuss it, whatever, and just, I'll buy you a pint. It is what it is. But until that day, the thing you could do for me the most is just drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment with your opinions and everything, because that is going to really push this channel, and that would be unbelievable. So thank you. But again, if you've gotten this far, thank you. I hope you have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow with another video. Peace.